Good evening, Scott. Thanks for inviting me to discuss this issue with you on whiskey theory. Um, these are short videos, so I will get straight to the point. Um, I agree that we need to solve the issue of illegal immigration, and I also agree that we need to make immigration easier. Um, you characterized it as uh, doing something not because it's easy, but because it's hard. And philosophically, I agree with that. There's basically we need to do something because it's the right thing to do in my mind. Um, I don't see immigration as an issue, and I'm using a play on words here. I see it more as an opportunity, and the reason why I look at it that way is because an opportunity is a chance for consensus or to improve something. It is a positive spin on over otherwise negative subject. Um, so straight to the issue, the wall. The wall is a knee-jerk reaction. There's no need for it. It's not going to solve the problem. In my mind, it's only going to make it worse. It doesn't add anything to the process. It's a barrier. Um, my mind, philosophically, we need to be building bridges, not walls. So, the discussion about illegal immigration. In my mind, it's not about having an open border. If it was, then we would be building a wall on both borders. We'd be building a wall both on the border with Mexico and the border with Canada. We're not doing that. So it's not an issue about open borders. It's not an issue about controlling who comes and leaves this country. It's a political statement. It just straight up is. The debate also isn't about terrorism. We have the Department of Homeland Security, the CIA, the NSA. Let them handle the terrorists. Immigration is not going to solve terrorism. Um, the debate also isn't about crime. There's studies that have been published within the last few years that specifically show that undocumented immigrants don't increase crime rates. And in fact, they're more likely to be rehabilitated if they do commit a crime than some of our own citizens. For example, in February of 2018, the Cato Institute, which is a fairly prominent libertarian think tank, uh, published information on crime rates, and they found that there were 56% fewer criminal convictions of undocumented immigrants than native-born citizens. That's pretty significant. Another study published in the Journal of Criminology in March of 2018 showed that places with higher populations of undocumented immigrants do not have higher crime rates. So, in short, the correlation between undocumented immigrants and higher crime rates, it's a myth. It's fake news. So, finally, our discussion isn't about job loss either. A lot of the undocumented immigrants that come into this country, they're unskilled laborers. They work as day workers or they work in agriculture. They're not taking jobs from anybody. Just stop with that argument. They're doing the jobs that, quite frankly, nobody else in this country wants to do. What should we be discussing about illegal immigration and just immigration in general? Well, we should be looking at it from a humanitarianism aspect and looking at it about talking to improve the process. We need to seize the opportunity to improve our system. And while it seems like a difficult task, it's not. It's actually pretty simple. There's a couple common sense things that we could do tomorrow with some policy changes to make things easier, to make it so that immigrants can come to this country legally easier, stay here, and be productive members of society. And one of those is grant legal status to all immigrants. I'm not saying that we have to make them full-fledged citizens, but give them a legal status. Greet them at the border, and I mean, I'm saying this, you know, just in general, but hear me out. Greet them at the border, hand them an ID card with a taxpayer number, and hand them a help wanted section from the local newspaper, and let them get to work. Let them go to work and pay taxes. Let them contribute to our economy. Um, by doing that, it's a win-win situation. We're encouraging them to be productive members of society. We're contributing to our economy, and in turn, we're helping them. We're doing a humanitarian act of helping them because that's the reason why they came here. They came here to elevate themselves, to support their families. Um, let's help them. So, lastly, there's a lot of arguments that I hear. Um, why don't you let them come live in your house if you want to, be a bleeding heart liberal and help them? Well, okay, let me take you up on that challenge. So, let's do this figuratively. Let's set up a system of sponsorship where myself or anyone like me could put out there a sponsor for a family or an individual, whoever it may be, to help them come here legally. And as a result, hey, why don't you give me a tax break or give whoever a tax break for helping someone come to our country and produce for our economy? This isn't only going to encourage legal immigration, but it's going to help those that can't afford to do it otherwise. And like I said, in addition, it helps with them being contributing members of our society. So, in short, if we work together, we can make immigration work, and we can reform this process into something that is both humanitarian, but also something that benefits our great country. We need to be building bridges, not walls.